Welcome to video number 1 from the Model Railroad Hobbyist article, Breathing New Life and Sound into a Blue Box Athearn Diesel. In this video, we're going to go through the checklist for programming a Digitrax sound effects decoder. Starting with our test subject, the Trainmaster we talked about in the article is on our programming track connected to our Digitrax PR3 programmer, which is interfaced to a laptop running the SoundLoader 2.0 software. So let's begin. The SoundLoader software is a very handy tool in not only programming but testing the locomotive. The main toolbar has most of the functions, and expanded versions of those are all in the article, but we're going to start off with brand new install on the decoder. And the first thing we want to do on the programming track, much lower power setting, less chance for frying it, is let's make sure that we were successful in getting the install. So we're going to come up to our decoder address function on the toolbar, and it's already done a read, and sure enough the decoder address comes back as 3. That's good. That's what we'd expect, and we're going to rewrite that just to make sure that it's reading and writing, and we'll change it to the cab number on the locomotive, number 8704, and we'll change address, change complete, and we'll do a quick read. And lo and behold, it is still 8704. So it would appear that our decoder install is at least partially successful in that we have a decoder which is talking to the programming track. Alright, we'll exit out of that. The next thing we're going to look for is to check the sound portion of the install. One of the handy features of the SoundLoader program is a function called Sound Test, and when you open that up, it allows you to test the sound functions of the decoder without actually running it on the track and at the lower power settings. Okay, as we can hear, it is making some steam engine noises. That is the generic steam diesel sound project that comes with the decoder from the manufacturer, and talks about reducing the master volume, which is CV number 58, down to a low level so as to not overpower the sound output of the decoder while it's on the programming track. So I've brought it down to number 8. We could still hear it, and if we had any concerns at all, we could further lower it to say 5, but that's probably a little difficult for you to hear, so I'll bring it back up to number 9, which is about the mid-range, 0 to 15. Okay, so we've got a successful sound. We can also check our headlights here, so I'm going to hit the F0 button, and looks like we have our forward headlight working, reverse direction, and the rear headlight comes on. So that looks good. Should have a bell and a steam whistle. Okay, so that is working. The other scheme that is on here is the diesel one, and that's CV60, and down here in the customization block, a lot of the ones you would normally mess with are there. So CV60, we don't even have to remember it, although it's in the article. We're going to change that from 0 to 1, and that will bring us over to the diesel scheme. And sure enough, we have an SD40, I believe, is what the standard scheme is. It's revved up, and we can go ahead and throttle that up. Little diesel horn. And we have a successful sound test. Alright, so we'll exit out of that. And we'll move on to the writing of the program. Or rewriting of the program. Okay, so the first step to that is just to clear out any remains of the sound program that's in there. We're going to use the erase flash button down in the bottom right corner there. And you'll hear that buzzing sound. No, we haven't fried the decoder yet, but it does make a buzzing sound when it's doing some of its reading and writing. And just takes a couple seconds, and the flash has been erased. We come back down and check, and our decoder free flash now is 524,000 bytes, about a half a megabyte, and that checks. Everything has been cleared out. Okay, so we are ready to write our custom project. So I'm going to open up the Fairbanks Morse opposed piston project as was downloaded off of the Digitrax Sound Depot website. Alright, as discussed in the article, the horn is one item we wanted to change. And this comes with a -9 horn that was recorded on the original locomotive. And my research shows that the Pennsylvania Railroad used a Leslie S3L horn. So we want to change out that horn file. I got a number of different Leslie horns from the Yahoo group members, and as discussed in the article there, the horn is broken into 3 parts. Any of the sustained sounds are. You have a beginning, or the start, you've got the run, or the sustained part, and then you have the end. And that's number 9 through 11 here. And we can play each one of those. So you have the lead in, the sustained part, it's just held as long as necessary, and then the trailing off end sound. So to change those is very easy. We'll start with number 9 there, the horn start. Right click on that, and it brings up the menu, and we want to assign a sound file, which is the third option down. Here's the folder. I've got them all loaded in there. And this one right here of the sounds, the ones near the top here were the ones that I liked the best. So there's the start one. We'll come down to number 10, the horn run. Assign the sustained file for that. And then for the horn end, assign the decay. Alright, so now instead of that original horn, we now have that sound, matching the prototype there with the S3L horn. Okay, so those are the only changes we're going to make to these sound files. Any of the sound files can be modified. If you find a sound project out there that has a lot of features that you like, and you just want to change the prime mover sounds, the diesel start, run, idle, etc., to something matching a prototype that you've got, you can mix and match. So a lot of flexibility there to these decoders, and that's the fun part of it for a hobbyist out there. Okay, we're ready then for the moment of truth. We're going to write this sound project now to our decoder, because we've erased everything out. It currently wouldn't make any sounds if we put it on the track. It would still run. But now we want to add these new sound projects back into it. So let's get started. There's only really one step involved in writing the sound project to the decoder, and that's clicking on the big green button in the middle there. And it will go through another flash erase just to make sure everything is out. Then it will write in the program file, the SDF file, which it's doing right now, and then it will go through the writing of all of the WAV files that we're using within the sound project. And that just takes a minute or two. Through the magic of television, we're able to skip ahead a couple minutes, and the write is complete. All the program files have been transferred to the locomotive. The first step, once the write is complete, is to check the status of the file transfer bit, which it's not well documented in Digitrax material there, but number 126, CV number 126, is kind of a bit check on whether the transfer was successful, and so we're looking for a value of 7. If it's less than 7, probably didn't go through correctly, and you'll want to erase, do a factory defaults reset, and try writing again, and that usually fixes the problem. I have seen it a couple times where it comes up and 126 is a value of 5 or less, and that is not a successful write, and we can go ahead and try it again, and that generally works. If not, probably have a problem with the decoder, and Digitrax has a very good warranty program on their decoders, even if you were the one that caused the damage. Okay, so now let's come back into our sound test and give it a try. Takes just a second for it to acquire the locomotive, and it is working. Alright, turning on our headlight. Headlight is working. Bringing the throttle up. That is working. Bell works. Here's our new horn. Sounds good. All right, we have successfully written the program to the decoder, and it appears to be working. And that wraps up steps 1 through 10 of the checklist. And as you could see, very easy to change specific sounds within the program itself. Pretty easy to read and write as long as you have a PR3. And once it's at this point, we'll move on over to Decoder Pro. We'll fine-tune the running and volume levels. So come back to see more in video number 2, where we'll actually have the Trainmaster out on the layout, and you'll get to hear some of the various functions that are built into this sound project. Thanks again, and thanks for watching.